Hi, it's Joy, and I have a story time for you. We're gonna start with in 7th grade, my first year of public school. I was probably around 13 to 14. I was held back for learning to reading and writing English because I just moved up from Chile, and sadly I forgot most of the Spanish anyway. But everything sounds familiar to me. And so we're gonna start off with me integrating into the school. So for context, there's this one guy. I'm not sure if he was Spanish or not, but I was like the popular kid because I brought diversity to that school. Like that particular area of I'm not going to say the state name, but that school area, it was lacking in that year. This was in 2024 to 2025. Like, it was bad. Me and my sister, we were called the Mexican woman to get out of the border. She was called like a bunny hopper or something, border hopper, which is still the wrong term, but like, dude. Okay, so anyway, there's this guy. I wish I could say his name, but I don't want to get into any more legal trouble than I am in. I'm not bad, but that's a whole other story. But this guy, he locked eyes on me during science. And let me tell you, none of the teachers did anything. So at first, I thought he was pretty innocent. He came up to me and was just like, "Hi." He was on crutches, by the way. He was in football. He was really whippy though. But he came up to me, which I guess that is important. But he came up to me and was like, "Hi. So you're new here. Your name's like yada yada," which I could say my first name, but I just don't wanna. But and I was like, "Yeah." I was by a trash can, just wiping my hands with hand sanitizer, doing my own business. And I was like the chubby new girl with like mixed ethnicity, so I was appealing to these kids. All those kids were like skinny, all the same, like blonde hair, blue eyes, fair skin. But this boy, he came up to me and was like, "So hi, you're yada yada. So have you ever planned on dating? Would you date me?" I didn't know how to turn this new kid down because like I was new, so I was just like, no, sorry, I'm not into dating," which was true. But boy, I did not want to date him. So basically, what just happened was, after that, I thought everything would go back to normal. Well, normal as I thought it would be for public school. So, I just go back to my regular seat. And if I remember correctly, the next few days were normal. But then he started getting erotic. He started throwing chewed up Jolly Ranchers onto my desk on cardboards, flinging his whole body across my table, grabbing my stuff and clutching it. I had to sanitize my water bottle after that too, because like he was just nasty. And he would like, there was one time where the 6th graders messed up their camping trip, and we all had to have assigned seats, and unlucky for me, he was sitting right across from me, and he got up across the table and literally went, "Would you date me? Would you date me? Would you date me?" And then said a bunch of slang words for some reason. No joke. I don't know what was up in this kid. This kid was probably not right in the head. I know I wasn't. But it got to a bad point that the only person who stood up for me to tell this boy no was his best friend, who was also another Spanish kid. Which everyone had a crush on this kid, by the way. I didn't. But like, dude, your friend had to step in. I'm so happy my sister elbowed the guy who was harassing me for almost straight 2 years, by the way, and he harassed other girls, and when we reported it, nothing. They did nothing. They just let him get away with it. I'm so glad my sister elbowed him in the ribs. It was so appealing for me, but I wish I did so much more. One time I said I would kick him in his gut because he wouldn't back off. He said that was a turn on. He said, "Yes, please." I'm sorry? Anyway, that's my little story. That's like the biggest ones, but I probably have some more that I'm not remembering to add to this little compilation, but for me, this minute's getting long and my storage is ass, so sorry, probably can't say that, but you know, like curse words. I don't quite know YouTube's algorithm yet. I'm still quite new at this. So if anyone has anything to tell me on YouTube on how to manage a channel and what to do, but everything's going to be inconsistent, especially since we're going to be starting school again. And I'm going to be having a lot of stuff, probably starting a job and other stuff. So, nice ranting. This is Joy.